This is the reason why online dating has severely distorts the reality for men, right? And for women also, but mostly this video is going for men. Yes. Why is that? A lot of people, they believe if I go online to find a matchmaking, someone that is going to reflect the values, the compatibility, the understanding, the curiosity, the deep connection, all these things, the chemistry, the list goes on and on and on, right? They believe they can source this online. But guess what? Most men have been severely deceived, right? Because of this preconceived notion that if only I can go online, right, I can find my dream partner. But guess what? The real world, the way we do things in the real world and the online world, right, or the internet world, these are two different things. You can't outsource someone through an app or through the TV, right, thinking it's the reality. Yes, some people, they're lucky, it works for them. But guess what? Majority, it flops. That's just the reality of the situation. For majority, it flops. It didn't work. Why? Because what you see on screen, what you see on dating apps, in most cases, right, it's a package. You're buying a smoke screen, it's a decoy, right? And most of us will fall for this kind of deception. We see the makeup, we see the wig, we see all the filters, the highlight reels, the photos, and we believe this is the reality, only to find the person in real life. It doesn't match what we saw. That's real catfish, right? And it's so real. And up till now, people are falling for the trap. We ignore real life experiences, like seeing someone, their presence, their aura, their magnetism, their expression, their intelligence, all these things. It takes time for you to feel someone's spirit in real life. When you see someone, you speak to them, you assess them. Their aura is even more important, their presence, their spirit. You can source this online, you can buy this online. I'm not saying dating apps is a bad deal. A work age is something you can fight. The digital age is so powerful to the point where you have to deal with it, right? But the reality of the situation is that going online to find your dream partner, in most cases, is not a viable option. It doesn't work because the deception is more than the reality. In the real world, right, you see someone for who they are, you like them. And for men even find it more difficult because you're competing with the whole world. You're competing with the whole world, and guess what? Only 20% of men, or even 10% of men, are lucky to be found attractive in women's eyes, naturally. Yes, most men are not attractive to women because they don't know how to present themselves, they don't know how to carry themselves, they don't know how to express themselves. All these things are a skill. It's a learned skill. It's not something you just grab overnight. It's a skill. So guess what? So the number one key thing, right, is only the 5% of people, in most cases, are lucky to find their dream partner online, or they even find attractive, especially when it comes to men. Yes, and that's the number one key thing. Which one is the second one? The second one is, right, your presence. You can't outsource that online because the algorithm, right, is not designed for you to express your aura, your magnetism, your natural, right? And most people don't have the time to know you. They just judge you by your photo. They reduce you by the size of 5 or 6 or 10 photos that you upload online, right? And people see you, they think, oh, that's all you. But there are so many layers in who you are as a person. Your aura, your magnetism, all these things can be seen on your photo, right? It has to be felt in your presence. But we're missing that. So yes, that's the second one. Which one is the third one? The third one is, most women, right, the way they see men in real life is different from the way they see in photo. So when they see you online, within 5 to 6 or 7 seconds, they make the decision, I don't like you. And sometimes, guess what? Your natural image is different from the photo that you put online. Some people naturally, they're even photogenic in real life when you see them down in photos. If you see them in photos, they don't look like the way they look in real life. That's the reality of the situation. Some people, they're so photogenic in photos, but when you see them in real life, they're not as pretty or handsome as when you see them in real life, right? And that's the mistake most of us make. Yes, most of us make this kind of mistake. We think, oh, what we see on photo is the reality. In most cases, it's a deception. That's just reality. So that's the third one. Which one's the fourth one? The fourth one, rejection becomes apparent, right? So that's why I see most men, before they even try to find their match making online, they've been rejected so many times, and at some point they lose up because there is this surgical precision. The blade is so sharp to be rejected to the point where most men don't have a chance because you're competing with 5% men online. How can you succeed? Imagine you are only compared in the scale of maybe from 1 to 10, maybe 5 or 6 in looks, and you're competing with men that are 9, 10 over 10 in charts and Taiwans. Men that are fit, ripped, muscle, style, game, looks, whatever, name it. You want to compute that man, and meanwhile, maybe you don't have game, you don't have looks, you don't have charisma, you don't have aura, you don't have magnetism, right? All these things, they are competing with those men. They know how to chat online, they know how to present themselves, they know how to act cold, nonchalant, right? But you don't know how to do these things. You are thirsty. You have this kind of scarcity mindset, and you want to compete with certain men that knows the game. They have it all as a total package. No chance for you. Yes, no way. So yes, that's the fourth one. Which one is the fifth one? The fifth one, right? So you want to adapt yourself in this kind of battlefield that is highly competitive to the point where it's apparent that your chances of being successful is second to none. It's so flimsy, it's so tiny, right? That's why most men are frustrated. That's why the incel community is so much higher right now. Most men, they're in their ages of maybe 25 almost going 30, they are male virgins. They've never had experience of women, right? To the point where they can make the decision that someday you'll be dreaming to create a family, and this is quite alarming in the society. Yes, because imagine a young man from the ages of 18, 19, 20, going to 25, catching up to 30, never had experience with a woman to feel the aura of a woman, the spirit of a woman, the body of a woman. What makes you think that man will crave to create a family someday? That's why we are having declining population in the society right now, and it's quite alarming. It's quite serious. Yes. So I'm going to leave you with this. Dating apps doesn't measure your value. Have it in your mind. Keep it in your skull. Dating apps doesn't measure your value. Your value, your essence, your aura, your magnetism, your charisma, your macho, your panache, your style, your looks, your intelligence, your intellectual capacity. The list goes on and on and on. Can be mentioned in a photo, right? So if you think you can make yourself marketable, put your photos online, that's a distorted way of thinking, right? So you have to clear that kind of mindset, because it's way kind of a laggard way of thinking. So once you clear up your mind, you have this clarity of mindset, know that real life is the real game, is the real gem. Then you know to position yourself in order for you to win in real life. Because whatever we see online, it's just a highlight reel. All of us are playing a show. All of us are playing a game. No one is coming online to expose their deep innermost insecurities or fears. So does online dating. Most of the photos you see is just a package. They're all filters in most cases, right? When you get to see people in real life, the way they express themselves, the way they carry themselves, their charisma, their intelligence, their spirit, their aura. Sometimes you fall for people with their presence, their aura, their essence. So looks might not even matter at that point, because it's how the person make you feel, especially for women, right? Women is how you make them feel. They operate mostly through their feelings. They don't care about material things in a deeper level, as people make it to be. The true essence of a woman likes a man that will make her feel triggered, a man that will push her buttons, to feel aroused. That's the kind of man she craves. That's the reality of the situation. If a woman tells you, oh, I want a man that will make 8, 10, 15, 20 figures, right? They're telling you out of the place of maybe they lack money, or maybe this kind of man is obsessed with money. But deep down, if you strip down to the bare minimum, right? Bare bone naked. Most women don't desire money like that. If money is not their problem, if money is not an issue. Yes, they want a man that will trigger them, that will make them feel aroused. When they see the man, they say, yeah, this is the dream man I've been looking for. That's why they always go for the man other women desire. The man other men respected in society, the leader, right?